me say no pay o. Sister dey be tie even no mama fans. Hey, na dey. Sister did me him Why?
Me
ni mienu pe.
I didn't hear what he said.
They say ene. Me ni fi ko e kokko didi.
But me dem me change just some more can say
and now mama fans.
But you pretended as if you didn't see.
Oh, me we
You didn't see. I was waving. You didn't mind me.
Oh, that what's that?
The best station.
I was waving, but as if you didn't see me. It's me.
What's it? Me shocked.
But you don't do that. You made me feel bad. You didn't wave back.
Me wave back.
Fiko de na niti wo.
What's it? Me o tama me hu no. Na ye kasa, me na ni fiku kasa. Oh, it's na your attention or cram minus.
Mo sempa.
O ba se fiku ahun.
I so ono na niti wo. Niti wo like I was waving you.
Me peja meti.
And I will when as if he doesn't even know me. He didn't see me before. It's true.
I
said that kind of miss there, but I made my mind say me nkasa mfan.
What you came? Can't do this finish. And you imagine Bible.
I know nyale.
Me say, and I can't get to giant.
SL.
It's okay, man, because me shake car. This is a 10 kid baby. Can't do so. Okay, road we pan a coffee.
Ghana Talks Radio. Number 1.
Regina, I am hot.
Can't do fatano. Can't be sent. I don't be beside Fico. Well, Missing you will be say, Debbie. I don't see. And I'm such a kind of corner. I say, hey, and I'm saying, sister system.
What's Sister
system. May I mean, pen was empty. May I mean, pen was it? Tell
their baby.
Okay, so today's first story is about Mecca, if I say NDC, MPP, and Kufour also. So the National Democratic Congress has condemned remarks made about former President John Kufour, describing them as unsavory and distasteful. Reina John Mahama Aide Ekoka said people, Kufour and other people in wheelchairs are evil and cursed. Remu John Mahama Aide and Ekasa Assem and NDC for Mankasoma Jatum said their boy Yikai and Yano Kwansano no ma patrol and no more Cassisi on my patrol. The whole say the situation at hand a Bekofom. Should the apology be accepted? Because I feel say it's high time they put people in their places. Because for politics so SBO editing kwasi assemdodo. Because I feel say obi ampese at old age, you know. How would I say it? Say yare bibe tu obi ana say bibi. Just yesterday I saw a video of a woman, a very beautiful young woman. According to sources, she was pregnant with triplets. Okowo baye no. She said when you stroke.
Oh yeah, people.
On to me and I was like pregnancy. So with what John Mahama Aide can, do you think no kwanso or should the apology, should it be accepted also? And now say Sister Debbie, me shall say first.
Well, let me say that the MPP party, we know what they've done. We know even though they are in power, and the things are not actually going on, that doesn't give us the audacity to speak against one of their leading member. You get it? Kufour Sebi, like he's an elderly man. He's not a child. He's not a kid. And so if you are directing a question to him or you are speaking to him, you should know how to go about it. Even though yes, President Kufour, he's older than me. He's my dad. You get it? So sometimes that's why I said sometimes when we are talking, and then even though certain things are very annoying, we add Sebi Sebi to it, like we add some sort of respect. Kufour is an elderly man, so even though he has like apologized, how will I even put it? They should give him a punishment. So that it will serve as a caution to others, and then you don't use what somebody is going through to insult the person. Nobody wish to be born crippled. Even though some people, they've actually given birth to them naturally being crippled, and we have people that have gone through instances that have led them into such situations. You said a lot of women go into the labor room and then they come out, and then like they go through a lot of complications. Some don't even survive. So you don't know what somebody is going through. There is this lady on social media. I learned I don't know, the first time I saw her, I thought it was normal. Yeah, it was normal. But then she was celebrating her birthday, and then she took a picture like how she was, and then it's like they said some disease, but I've forgotten the name. It made her lost all her fingers. So she's now leprosy. Yes, she has now been diagnosed with leprosy, and then her face, like everything has changed about her. If you look at how she was and then how she is right now, you can't even, if they tell you she's the one, you won't even believe. She was very beautiful, but the disease has actually led into such a situation. And I've seen a lot of comments, you are not beautiful, stop doing that. And I can see that she's actually doing that to motivate herself. So as a human being, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't criticize somebody or insult somebody because of what the person is going through. It actually doesn't make sense. It's true we are doing politics, and it's true sometimes our leaders actually put us off, but then when we are addressing them or we are actually saying something to them, and we should know how to go about it. You being an aide to the former president doesn't give you that audacity to say that. We've even seen people that have spoken against Mahama, we've criticized them also because he's not your size, he's not your class. This man is old enough to be your grandfather because he has children, and I'm sure his children has given birth. I can even say he has great grandchildren. So you cannot just sit down and say this kind. It's so insulting. So he has apologized, but then I've also noticed that the NPP have not accepted his apology though. But then I believe that even upon all that, after they have, I know definitely the NDC will also say something about that. But after they've solved themselves out, he should be punished. Because I've seen certain instances where some politician doesn't talk right, and they even sanction them to a punishment, or sometimes they will they will suspend you from the party for maybe some months or so. I think they should do that so that it will caution people, and then it's also tell us that the NDC party, they are serious. You cannot just stand up and insult somebody just like that. This man is old. He has been dead for long. He's old enough to be your grandfather and your father. So you don't say that afterwards you come back to apologize. So it doesn't make sense. They have to punish him aside the apology letter. DJ Rock.
Oh, he matrimode.
DJ Rock.
Oh, he matrimode.
Young queen.
Me story be saying I am a Tiana. My Esther. That's what I say. A man who is older enough to be your grandfather, because you see I'm checking age before 85 plus. So what I say? Obawo ama. So what I say? Me you know when papa no or me nana, because 85 years no me nana. So what I say? Aha. And me what I was saying is I was say do time constitution. Sa kabima min kabino. Democracy kabima min kimino. Sa freedom of speech na she hono. I was say do freedom of speech na she, but amode restriction become. So what I say? I was some modern restrictions become with the sense say obi wa ban mu a because of politics intino. The way they don't attack the party. Nana make a sister be say nana party ni ye boni a ye address party no near attacking personal. Because of only done. Forgetting say only done on 20 minutes humanity. And now what all by no 20 ministers need the prime ministers and I say MPs. so mo mebo no mo nya adwuma no it is when pibi wo area no nya adwuma no here don't attack the president attack when pina na so minister no area mo on na bia nya adwuma no yi so what I say but because of say yes in kate ba akwa asset mi say in kate na ne say yeah we nyenti e be follow mo ni na me apology ne dey obeto kwan be no we one I want say yes bibi your current world so I just say your time number computer world to see how we can talk to Kufour and that's why are you our ex-president on you when you na and I want say on no enti no wow yes so mom yetenten edru bia ogo so I just say ogo eti ne say wheelchair no otimu no enye say we are enti no otina wheelchair because of wọ́n sẹ́ sáà fún ọ̀dẹ́ ní ẹ̀wọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ mu no wọ́n ní bi tí wọ́n ti fi wheelchair mu no ẹ̀tí sẹ́ ọ̀dẹ́ ní wheelchair náà mọ̀ ọ̀tẹ́ no ẹ̀ sẹ́rẹ̀ náà anásẹ́ ọ̀dẹ́ di ní àtẹ́mà wọ́n dùrù sẹ́ mpanyinfoɔ kasa bi sɛ wonyiya yɛn nsila kwatia wonima kwatia ɔmo ɔmo yɛn ntɛ ntia no wɔn sɛ ɔmo ɔmo yɛn ntɛ ntia no yɛsɛ wonyiya mɛnsere ɔmo ɛyɛ bi kura na wɔwɔ anduru saa eti no so wunyiya mensla kwatia wunu ni eju emi wo eju mi ni se o obi aba clock 50 plus by ono no Kufour president Kufour yeti ni eju kula free wood emu a extra one na kakra me nyacho se oba bi po abu so what you say so they every time this political insult na that they na aban like government no and I say mika government omo ba omo nye bibinya the emfa because e too much sebi obi o sesegro obi o onto ofida obi o wonsi ofida onto okada but otimi fa phone
the two cities bando na ato
oba cause no what ne ma me nchen ye no na wadi no odi si obi o no abo ne bra wi o mo person yankopon fa wonsi wonu o de se no se ya se mo yes unya kuma party the men join because obet yes am I want it na Kufour hey na do call radio station bi the president and be say president it Kufour do what am I what was na nya o my am na mo metini na
but ya na we yi ne
no we mutimi nkobo no eyo mi kase ni po kasa free ayi kasa pin baby o crabo no the you answer na bedro na
it's high time because even aside our politicians, looking at our celebrities, our public figures, it's high time people should learn how to be very sensitive and considerate.
And I may say,
it's like they are not humans.
And I may say, a freedom of speech. So what I say, Tamana
is becoming too much.
Tamana Sebiu, our ex-president, our late president, we are not, and run on any democracy, autocracy. Okasa yankasa sata na decide that them dey on but see an ya mo bia okwan so wonkasa you decide the freedom
we are using it
yes it yenfa law bi nka ho so what I say yenfa law bi nye the wicked president ever on this hey South Korea for president ono na ono ni o yeso oye meeting ni ofeda o tweet o kunu ofa simple.
Is it not the president so far as our original TV so address you have to watch him?
No apart from Japan is a Korea for no muntie nyum bia bi enti nipa bi se obetima tena se wa fi sit obetima ka se obedi na tem so ajaze freedom no aba ye but abroso ye abusing too much.
You know, instances like this, we should put our sentiments and emotions aside. You are pissed off with the party, and this money has been in Onokoro Park. I think say then people were doing better. Because my dad told me that then times even banks will come to your houses for loan. You don't even go in for loan. You don't go for loan because everything is like you are not buying things with high cost. Everything was going on, so why will you go for loan? So the banks were rather chasing the people to come for loan. No, the banks were rather chasing you, to come for loan during Kufour's time. At least during his tenure, there was a bit moderate of everything. Not now. But even with that, it doesn't give you that audacity to be talking to. Oh, come on, he's old enough.
To be Ghana, no. What I've seen is your politics in NTS. We don't attack the party. Say party ni party we issue. You attack party no. You attack leader no personal. So what I say? It be to supporters no more. This is not about politics. The last time on Facebook and go picture be. Now on my throw Cristiano Ronaldo ne die. Ronaldo ne Cristiano Ronaldo ne die. Messi ni fie. Make a damn po. Cristiano fie, Messi fie, supporters fie. I support atakwa me. Can be that you say omo amudi omachi na mo ko na na de hwe omu fie. Hwe omo dan omuti. Na wo support another die. Me this year election. Also,
we have to think wisely before voting. Yes, you have to think wisely before casting your vote out there. So with all that, we are still saying that as a politician, as a spokesperson for any politician, as the communication director for any political party, if you are given the opportunity to say something about your party, say it and go. Say it in a way that, even though you are punching the negative side of the sitting government, punch it in a positive way. Don't punch it in a way that at the end of the day you look so disrespectful. And you know, some people actually look at these petty things to vote. The way you communicate. We were all talking about Napo. Now you two want to come and join again. Why?
What's that? Or image over there. See, a cast your phobia or chamia. We don't just take or chammy keke. Or chammy, you have to know how to talk. Would him answer? It's in here say, so I have for dim come. That's it. Or Henny that can be at Achelawa on can be bedroom. So Henny did they be a tema. On can't or catch or watch yamming to watch our own hand. It's
oh, Canada.
It's or mocha be say. As I'm quasi yet to yet to watch yamian. So, Missy, my catcher said, Debbie said, Debbie Tika Kraka. Or to Zuba, Debbie Tika Kraka. It's or more a former spokesperson in Kufour now. Or mom who say you can talk in public. It's a why you said the Casa Mayan. Now I bet you know will be who your moat. Yes, Rena. No, you're the alias Ruby.
Okay, and to know your last story for today. Today we are looking at drugs. Drugs being on the rise, especially amongst our youth. Just on the 16th of November, Yache Obi Nigerian Okechukwu Okeke. He was taking 50,000 pieces of tramadol from Ghana to Nigeria, and unfortunately for him, Yache.
Illegal way.
Yes, and even it's tramadol is not something bad, but the youth of today they've abused it to the extent. So even something like that, they'll question you. And tramadol is a drug, you have to get it personally by doctor's prescription. You can't go to the pharmacy and cast a method tramadol sisiano. Sisia they won't mean anything. In the look of drug abuse on the rise because it's too much. I think was it last year or the last 2 years? One guy was interviewed and he was like, Sisia, the drugs do not really work for him. So what really works for him is super glue. He buys it, so he inhales it.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this what the youth of Ghana, in fact, the youth of the world are turning into? And to DJ Rock.
I am at the model.
Drug
abuse. Who they are starting people?
Why you confused?
Because one say, see and what the youth know or move faces is here no one. They make work as a peer friends count. So what I say, peer friends count. And now, obo on self control and self esteem. So what I say, it's you know. Then another for back catching the beer so quick be annoyed. This drug abuse na can maybe things or for anything abuse here or for na abroso. So what I say, even paracetamol Oko top paracetamol now for 10 in na you will get side effect.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because yes if abako. And now when him say Jibido.
Eh, good though. So don't you very good.
Even Jibido.
Say me we abusing him.
Very good. Oh, it's good though.
Yes, an extra. I think you have the extra.
Yeah, Jibido extra. Jibido BBB plus. When him say me say me fa any extra no. Jibido na kasa no. Say yes so uti oya pa na so e bia koto a e bia pharmacy de make fa 2. Me fa one kwa na mani ahon.
Eh.
Many be on who say me it mean fa I na me ho keka me so it mean say e bro ma ho den so it you dey imagine say manum ba ku mpo na mani ahon
na akonu me ele uti na be so
ana say manum 3 so that and I see say some of them take these drugs because of say one sexual present say obo on ma say Untimin die on about na ye both were called to a boosting ade would they storm energy drink in the rush energy drink in the 5-star
yeah they said it's taking it too much it's not good
one no man no pokra no ponu shede ye na bi to tonto mugum no more to no magum
really
and
the tonto what will you do
bisa o mo obi ko no bi bejina o so ba but we say
testify to the goodness of the Lord.
The goodness of rush and tonto. All about say yes. It's not good. All was a candidate diagram and but once and now if someone is drug addicted and he take just a day as send it because and then the moja de afra you mean mo be wa no monsa onu musokura no abo when him say omo occurrence for a drunkard you treat the moja de ma wa abebo o moja besesa because cells ni na moja ni na ay alcohol like wa no monsa ma sisi an na take over what you etino yeah kai na no it's no good so I just say and if for no drasters for no I was say the caution come on say any a draw be a high bia yan tram every doctor no and I maybe and advice you so come doctors munim say mo be mo obi aduru na sa no wode ya mo fama no hospital she no man tram na so koto pharmacy
because once I otoye onim say yepe
oh yeah they be our
ana yen so say no say ti cry ya na uzi aduro we na ji yen ya and e be gbokwa ama ho atete self medication I said me ho jojo mi o e aduro la say me koto f pack o eji mi e bi kra na nye yare na ye o na nye
yes and it's actually bringing in another way another disease
someone go check up it would office uti yo ya dey office a headache e bi kwa na migraine na enye parase e bi na edu fufuro because metie me adana metie me yo and
even mostly those headaches no most of them it just requires rest but nitinya pain na metie me adru akosia pa cho woni para yeah to compound house agosia omitie me o ni ayi o no into DJ my sister Debbie
me last words me can time as well na me nya dey academy master Debbie drug abuse enye so ati ase yeah boys na mo street ni na no meti me ka se enye omo fault so ati ase introduced by friends nya dey so bo ma bowi ni sa onya tebia te glue super glue we dey imagine say what bia na
when it's even like when you have contact with it with your eyes it is very painful very painful
continue na
there so drug abuse is a whole lot its side negative effect is just too much and you see most of the youth I would say are so much into drug abuse because of one low self-esteem as you said because we have people who actually especially when they have something to do with maybe communicating with the crowd or standing in front of a whole large crowd to deliver something or to deliver a message. Most of them feel so shy, so they want to take drugs or something that will make them feel a little bit unconscious and make them speak their mind or something. But then at the end of the day, it has a lot of negative complications, sometimes to peer pressure, peer influence, especially in the secondary schools. If you are not so careful and then you associate yourself with this kind of people, whilst class is ongoing, they are under the tree somewhere in the bush smoking. And sometimes I find it very difficult to understand where they actually get this marijuana and these hard narcotics, drugs. And those kind of students, you just take a good look at them. When they are in class and the teacher is saying something, they can tell the teacher their mind. They don't even care. If you like, sack them from the class. It's none of their business. The drug is actually working within their system. So they behave some way, somehow, abnormally. And you see, at the end of the day, it will have a negative, very big negative effects on you. And sometimes, even though they educate some of these things in schools too, I think parents also has to do same. Because I remember when you're going to school, your parents will sit you down, talk to you, be careful with the kind of friends you associate yourself with. If you are with a friend and then you see them like indulging in those kind of things, just give yourself a break, give yourself a space from them, or else they will end up luring you into that kind of act. And you see, as we said earlier on, especially when it comes to do with glue, just imagine you buying glue, when you open the tip of the glue and then very painful and you inhaling it within your system. And we should also remember that drug abuse comes with a lot of side effects. You might not see it today. I was seeing something on was it Snapchat or TikTok? Some addicted people who have had like a very significant effect on them because of drug abuse. You see one, like her mouth. When she's talking, you could see, and according to her, she said she has regretted. And those times she doesn't care. She can buy a pack of what's the name, cigarettes, and then she'll just be smoking. When you talk to her, it's none of her business. It's her life. She said it is her life.
I know my right.
Yes, and there is nothing. So you see, those kind of youth, when you're coming up and they feel like they are so much open to the world.
Yeah.
They know more than you. If you try to advise them a little, you are now his or her enemy. Like they are now enjoying, but you won't see it today. It's later on you'll be having so much effect. This drugs, it causes heart issues, kidney failure, liver, especially your liver. You see somebody very young and then you are having issues with your liver and stuff.
Kidney.
Your kidneys at the age of 20, 22, 24. You are now experiencing all this kind of stuff. So we should be very, very careful. Don't abuse it. And especially that trauma, when that trauma came it's got to a time I heard they nearly banned it because people were like abusing, and it killed a lot of people.
We have another medicine and also it's no. Say paracetamol. Like it's like family. What's a paracetamol? More
There is another one.
I know what they say.
I saw there is. I don't know whether you guys heard of that case because before, was it last year or so? There was this young teenager who gave birth, and she said after she gave birth, they sacked her from the house, so she didn't get any place to stay. So where she goes out to prostitute, like involve herself into prostitution, and she gets what she eat. And she gave birth to the child wasn't even up to 1 year, and she gave the child tramadol
to do what?
To sleep so that she can go out and come without sleeping. And by the time she returned, the baby was dead. The baby was dead.
Because no crown no more. High.
Very high. She killed her own child.
Tramadol. The mom won accident. Severe injured, like you were prapa, not at pain. So I just
it was the last words. Now did you?
So as I'm saying, we should be careful. It's not only about trauma, as you said, paracetamol or other drugs, because you've bought one particular, and there is this small medicine when you're having a running stomach or something, you take it.
Collodium.
You can even stay 1 month. Very bad.
Was the patient that
So you should be careful. This small drugs, you've bought a drug that have I mean, it's good to your system. Doesn't give you that go ahead and
anytime you
feel the same thing.
I feel say it's only for emergencies. If you are who are bunting, you get it. But you are home and you have running stomach.
No, it can't be going like that. Seconds, are they?
Constipate better. Me say, sister Debbie, I say more kind. Drug abuse, you are about to be. Musician be the business. Of course, stage be a no wash. Any business. Date na ya o shose fe bi ko nya stage na mi hu ni pa na say mo ojo no so mo ya mo ni pa tia ticket e ko show o ji ye say hu so mo ya mo
oh yeah say obi say wa bo mo na 90 be si odo ho
enyi na nia enyi ngo nanti
so close
yo Madam Masasa Mobile DJ Q and also Fikozi. Madam Masanyakopo Adomwa and also my listeners. We are going for the midday news. Right after the news, DJ Rock, I'm still with you from 12 to 2 o'clock p.m. Mama bye.
Ghana Talks Radio.